Hey, it's your friend Mel, and I'm so glad you hit play. That choice right there, it tells me something incredible about you. It tells me you are the kind of person who wants your life back. You want your attention back. You are done feeling like your phone is the boss of you. I love that about you. And you belong here with me. Let's just say it out loud so we can breathe again. If you keep grabbing your phone, there is nothing wrong with you. Nothing. Your brain is doing brain things. You know that reflex grab. I'm talking about the one where your hand moves before you even decide. You're waiting for the coffee to drip. You're at a red light. You're supposed to be brushing your teeth. And suddenly, tap, swipe, scroll. Just a second, you say. And then 27 minutes evaporate. You blink and your shoulders are tight and your jaw is clenched and you're muttering, "What is wrong with me? Seriously, why did I do that again?" I've been there every day, about an hour ago. You're not weak. You're not lazy. You are running a cue reward loop inside an environment that has zero friction. Read that again in your head. Zero friction. Your phone is always on, always lit up, always within reach, always calling your name with little red badges and dopamine sprinkles. Your brain loves easy. Your nervous system loves relief. The path of least resistance wins every single time when the runway is buttered with convenience. This is not a character flaw. This is physics. This is design. Your habit isn't proof you're weak. It's proof your environment is frictionless. So the solution isn't be stronger or have more discipline. I don't know about you, but I don't have a disciplined fairy living in my nightstand. If the grab is automatic, the fix must be environmental. We're going to make autopilot trip over itself. How? Friction. Tiny, kind, smart speed bumps that make the default easier than the impulse. When you add friction between the cue and the reach, you wake your brain up. You buy yourself the 2 seconds you need to choose differently. Not forever, just now. And then again, and again. Here's my promise to you. We're going to do this together, and we're going to keep it stupid simple. 3 tiny rules. Not 10, not a boot camp. 3, we're going to set them up in the spaces where your autopilot runs wild. We're going room by room, bedroom, kitchen, car, work, and we will design your environment so your attention has a fighting chance. No shame, no lectures, just structure that quietly does the heavy lifting. By the end, you won't be trying to be disciplined. You'll be a person who designed their life on purpose, a person whose mornings don't get hijacked before they begin, a person who actually tastes their food, a person who arrives at work with a calm brain and leaves the car with both hands free and a clear head. You can do this. And the moment you feel that little hit of relief, the good kind, you're going to realize it was never about more willpower. It was about smarter friction. Let's go. Okay, let's talk about why your willpower keeps face planting the second your lock screen lights up. This is the part nobody tells you. Most of your grabs happen before you've even decided. Your fingers are moving, your thumb knows the choreography, and then your rational brain shows up late to the party like, wait, we weren't going to do this. Too late, autopilot already popped open the app. There's a gap between your intention and your behavior, and that gap is where the habit lives. I do this too. Just yesterday, I sat down to answer one email, and I swear to you, I blinked, and I'm knee-deep in shipping notifications, then I'm reading a headline, then just one video becomes the algorithm feeding me 11. And I'm not even enjoying it. I'm anesthetizing. My brain was hunting for relief, and the path of least resistance was my phone. 10 minutes later, I looked up and felt that familiar cocktail. Edgy, behind, a little ashamed, and now irritated at everyone around me for no reason. Can you relate? Of course you can. That's not you being broken. That's your environment handing autopilot a grease slide. So here's the simple fix that works for actual humans. Friction, not punishment, not delete your photos and move to a cabin. Friction is just tiny, kind inconveniences that force a conscious choice. It interrupts the choreography. A 10-second delay is enough. If your phone is in the other room, if the screen is grayscale, if there's a lockbox timer on your desk, if the charger lives across the kitchen, Those little speed bumps wake your thinking brain up in time to catch the grab. And when you catch it, you choose. That's the whole game. What happens when you install friction? Your sleep gets protected because your bed stops being a casino. Your mornings stop getting hijacked. You taste your breakfast. You actually hear your kid's story about gym class. Your commute becomes quiet again. At work, your focus stretches longer because you remove the instant anything within arm's reach. Anxiety drops because you're not blasting your nervous system with novelty all day. The fights with yourself quiet down because you're not negotiating every 5 seconds. And this is the big one. You start trusting your own word. You said you'd do something, and look at you, you did. We are not chasing perfection. We're not doing a digital detox and then white knuckling it for a week. We're building 3 defaults you can live with. That's all. 3 tiny rules that create friction in the places autopilot runs wild. I'll walk you through them step by step. You don't need to be stricter. You need to be smarter about the setup. If the grab is automatic, the solution must be environmental, not motivational. We're going to give your intention a fighting chance by making autopilot trip on the rug. Ready? Because next we install the first rule, and I promise you'll feel the difference tonight. Rule has own. Your phone has a bedtime, and it is not in your bed. Say it out loud with me because identity follows language. My phone sleeps outside my bedroom. If that feels like I just asked you to move to Mars, start right here. It does not touch the bed, not the pillow, not under the sheet, not perched on the headboard like a little gremlin. Off the bed breaks the trance. Out of the bedroom breaks the habit. Here's the walkthrough, step by step. We're going to choose a charging station outside the bedroom right now. The hallway table, the kitchen counter, the entryway bench, anywhere that requires your feet to hit the floor. Grab a cheap extra charger or a power strip and make that spot permanent. That's the phone's bed. If you're thinking, but my alarm? Great $10 gets you an old school alarm clock or borrow one until the weekend. You're not a pioneering Arctic explorer. You just need something that beeps. Now, layer in tiny frictions that don't require heroics. Schedule do not disturb for night to morning. Let only humans you truly need break through family, the sitter, your elderly parent. Everything else can wait until sunlight. Turn off notifications for apps that aren't human. Yes, all of them. Banners, badges, buzzes, gone. Set your screen to grayscale at night. It makes that endless candy colors feed taste like cardboard. And if you want extra credit, put your phone in a opaque pouch or a little box at the charging station so you can't see the screen at a glance. Out of sight matters. Why this works is simple and powerful. Night and morning are leverage points. The last thing you see writes the code for your sleep. The first thing you see writes the code for your day. When the first input is your phone, your nervous system gets hijacked. Before your feet hit the floor, dopamine spikes, cortisol nudges up, and boom, you're reactive, not intentional. But when the phone sleeps elsewhere, your brain gets to downshift at night and boot up slowly in the morning. That alone changes everything. Let me handle your objections because I've said every one of them. But I use it as my alarm. Awesome. Get a clock. Or park the phone just outside the bedroom door with the volume up. You'll hear it. You just won't cuddle it. What if there's an emergency? Keep call through permissions for the 2 or 3 people who need you at night. Set repeated calls to break through. Door open. Volume up. Problem solved. I live alone. Great you, of all people, deserve a calm nervous system. Put the phone across the room in a pouch or a drawer you must stand up to reach. My partner scrolls in bed. You do you. Make your side a phone-free zone. Offer a joint experiment. Scroll in the living room for 15 minutes. Then both park the phones and go to bed like grown-ups. If they're not in, still do it. Your boundary is about your brain. Mini challenge. Tonight, we're not getting married to this. We're testing it like scientists. Move the charger. Set DND. Pick who can reach you. Put the phone to bed and notice. Notice how quickly you fall asleep. Notice how your morning feels when you wake up to your own thoughts instead of 15 strangers yelling for your attention. This is your new identity. You are a person who protects your sleep and your mornings. The phone doesn't live in your bedroom. You do. Rule #2 is simple, and it's going to change the way your whole day feels. If you're eating or making food, your phone is parked. Coffee counts, snacks count. Standing at the counter with a spoon in your mouth counts. If you're feeding yourself, the phone is not in your hand. It has a spot and it stays there until you're done. Let's set that up right now. Walk with me into your kitchen in your mind. Where does your phone live while you're cooking or eating? Not floating. A designated parking spot. Pick one. A drawer by the stove, a little basket on the pantry shelf, a ceramic bowl on top of the fridge, a specific windowsill. Label it if you want. Use a Post-it that literally says phone parking. Put a charger there or a dumb little timer next to it. Add a lid or an opaque pouch if you can. We're building a tiny bit of distance and making it easier to comply than to resist. When you step into the kitchen, the autopilot move is drop phone in the spot, hit the timer for 20 minutes, and feed yourself like a human. Here's why this matters more than you think. Phones don't just steal time, they steal transitions. Meals are the reset points where your brain can downshift from go, go, go into rest and digest. That transition is medicine. It's how your nervous system recalibrates. When you scroll while you chew, you cancel the reset. You keep your brain revved, you override hunger and fullness cues, and you end up saying, I didn't even taste that, while your stress is still humming. Park the phone, and your body actually gets the memo that it's safe. Benefits? Fewer mindless calories, less stress eating, better digestion, more I'm satisfied, and less where did that bag of chips go? If you live with other humans, connection goes up because you can see their face instead of the For You page. If you live alone, your stress comes down because your attention gets to rest on one simple act, feeding yourself. Objections. I've gotcha, but I live alone. This is my company. Beautiful. You still don't need the reach. Use a speaker or a smart speaker. Cue a playlist or a podcast before you hit the kitchen. Then park the phone and press play with your voice. I need the recipe on my phone. Screenshot it, then put the phone in the parking spot or prop a tablet or laptop across the room where you can see but not paw at it. Printed recipe? Old school is underrated. I scroll because I'm overwhelmed. That's exactly when friction helps. Make tea. Set a 10-minute kitchen timer. Park the phone and let chopping an onion be your nervous system's reset. First bite, one deep breath. Fork down between bites once or twice. Not woo-woo, just presence. We are not banning entertainment. We are removing instant access, friction, not punishment. The phone has a parking spot, and when you're feeding yourself, it lives there. Try it at your next coffee. Try it with tonight's dinner. 20 minutes. Park it, eat, notice. This is you becoming the kind of person whose kitchen is a calm zone and whose meals actually reset the day. You're not stronger. You're smarter about the setup. Rule #3. The phone never rides shotgun. In the car, it is not in your hand and it is not in the front seat. It goes out of reach glove box, zipped in your bag on the back seat, center console with the lid closed, or literally toss it behind you before you put the car in drive. If you can grab it at a red light without unbuckling, it's too close. We are installing friction so that autopilot can't pull the same old stunt the second you're bored, anxious, or annoyed in traffic. Here's your new default ritual. You get in, seatbelt on, start the car, phone goes to its place, out of reach before you move. Done. If you use CarPlay or Android Auto, make it boring on purpose. Turn on Do Not Disturb while driving or driving focus. Hide or remove every app except 2. Maps and calls, no badges, no banners, no texting previews on the dash. If your system lets you disable the keyboard completely while driving. If it doesn't, turn the screen off. We're not being dramatic. We're making it just inconvenient enough that your brain chooses the road and your breathing instead of the tiny casino in your lap. Let's talk about the hidden benefit nobody advertises. When your phone is physically out of reach, your commute becomes decompression again. You get that old school quiet where your brain finally catches up with you. You remember things without a list. You process the morning. You let the day drop off your shoulders before you walk into the house. You stop arriving at work already emotionally late because you spent 22 minutes arguing with strangers in your head after skimming a thread You walk in calmer, clearer, and you actually have attention left to give to what matters. But Mel, I need navigation. Great. Set your route before you move. Volume up. Then lock the phone and put it away. Glove box shut. Pouch zipped. Center console lid closed. Audio directions still work when the screen is out of sight. If you absolutely must see the map, mount it out of reach so you can glance, not paw. I'm on call for my job or my kid's school. Perfect. Create one VIP list that can break through driving focus. One. Everyone else goes to voicemail. If a call matters, they'll leave a message or call again. If you need to pick up, do it hands-free. If it turns into a conversation, take the next safe pull-off, handle it, then get back on the road. Boundaries with compassion. Stack tiny frictions in the car. Keep a charging cable in the glove box, so using it means closing the door on the phone. Use an opaque pouch so you can't see the screen glow. Turn your phone to grayscale permanently, or set a driving focus that automatically grays it out. If you share the car, make it a house rule. We don't ride with phones in the front seat. Toss a little basket in the back and call it the drop zone. Make the calm choice the default. Say this with me, because identity matters. I am the kind of person who keeps myself and other people safe, calm, and present. I don't need to be entertained every second. I can be with myself. The phone, never ride shotgun. Try it on your very next drive. Put the address in, hit start, drop the phone out of reach, and feel your shoulders come down by the first stop sign. That's not discipline. That's design. And it changes everything. Okay? Deep breath, because the workday is where your phone habit puts on a suit and tie and tries to sell you, I'm being productive. Email, Slack, Teams, social, for research, it all feels legit. Your brain loves a plausible excuse. I'm just staying on top of things. No, you're nibbling dopamine hors d'oeuvres all day and calling it lunch. And I say that with love because I do it too. This is the sneakiest version of the addiction. It looks like work, but it steals the work. So here's the goal at work. Not zero phone. We're making instant access disappear so focus becomes the default. That's it. Friction over willpower. Your phone gets a job in a home, in a drawer, in your bag, or in a pouch that zips, screen down, out of reach. Plug a charger in there. So putting it away is the easy move. If you truly need it for multi-factor authentication or a call, you stand up to use it. Standing is the built-in pause that wakes your brain up. You literally have to rise, walk, retrieve, authenticate, return. That 1 5-second circuit breaks autopilot. Next, the single portal rule. If something must be checked, it happens on one device, in one place, during defined windows. You check email on your computer, not your phone. You check Slack at your desk, not in the bathroom stall. Remove work apps from your phone or log out so it's annoying to sneak a peek. Define your windows right now. Maybe 10, 30, 1, 30, and 4, 0, 0. Between those, the inbox is closed and the docked Slack icon is hidden. You are not a trauma surgeon on a lunar mission. If something is truly urgent, people know how to find you. Worried about sounding rude? Use a simple script. To your team, heads up, I'm batching messages so I can protect focus and move projects faster. I'll respond at 10, 30, 1, 30, and 4, 0, 0. If it's urgent, call my desk or mark urgent, and I'll prioritize it in the next window. To clients, to give your work my full attention, I check messages at 10, 30, and 3, 30. For time-sensitive issues, please call the office line. To your boss, I'm testing a focus system to reduce errors and speed up deliverables. I'll batch email, Slack at 11 and 3. If you need me immediately, ring my desk and I'll jump. Notice the through line: service, clarity, and a clear emergency path. Now, what do you do with the itch? Replace the micro hit with a micro reward that actually resets your nervous system. When you feel the reach, do a 2-0. Second reset, stand, sip water, shoulder roll, look out a window and name 5 things you see, or do 4 rounds of a 4-4-4-4 box breath. If you're at a stopping point, write the next one sentence on a sticky next right thing. Outline bullet 2, then start it. That tiny completion gives your brain the it was begging for without the scroll. Here's what changes when you do this. Your attention stretches. You make fewer mistakes because you're not ripping your focus to shreds every 6 minutes. Resentment drops because you stop playing defense against everyone else's pings. Confidence rises because you're steering the day, not swatting at it. And the work, it gets better. You become the person who delivers, who thinks deeply, who ends the day less fried. Say it with me. I am the kind of person who protects my focus at work. My phone has a home. My messages have windows. My brain gets to do one thing at a time. Try it this afternoon. Park the phone in a drawer, set your first check window, and give yourself a 50-minute focus block with 120 second reset in the middle. That's not discipline. That's design. And it's how you win the day. All right. Now, we turn this from a few smart moves into a system you can live inside. I call it the friction ladder. You don't need one massive change or a 30-day digital cleanse. You stack small, kind frictions one rung at a time until autopilot can't win. 10% harder to access? Perfect. Another tiny speed bump? Even better. When the grab meets 2 or 3 little obstacles in a row, your thinking brain wakes up and the habit collapses on contact. Here's how a ladder looks in real life. Start with what we've already done, then add rungs as needed. Bedroom ladder, off the bed, then out of the room, then do not disturb scheduled, then grayscale at night, then the charger moves to the hallway, then an opaque pouch or small lockbox so you can't just check. Kitchen ladder, phone, parking spot, then add a lid, then put a cheap timer next to it, then cue audio on a speaker so you're not tempted to hold it, then screenshot recipes and park the phone anyway. Car ladder, drop zone in the back seat, then driving focus on, then glove box closed with a cable inside, then an opaque pouch, then remove messaging from the CarPlay screen. Work ladder, phone in drawer, then batch windows, then log out of Slack, email on your phone, then hide the dock or browser on your computer, then add app, site limits, then move distracting apps off your home screen, then set your browser to open to a blank page. Notice the difference between restriction and design. Restriction screams, don't, and makes you want to rebel. Design whispers, this is where it lives, and removes the negotiation. You're not punishing yourself. You're building a day where you don't have to fight yourself every 6 minutes. That's compassion. That's energy saved for the stuff that matters. I want you to experiment 1 rung per week, small, boring, repeatable, and measure one thing that actually matters to you. Pick your metric. Bedtime you hit, total pickups, the number of just checks during meals, how calm your commute felt on a 0 to 10 scale, or how long your first focus block lasted. Use screen time or digital well-being if that helps, or a sticky note on the fridge. No dashboards needed. Just one number that tells you, this is working. You will slip. Of course you will. You're human, and your phone is engineered like a casino. The win is not perfection. The win is noticing sooner, returning faster, and adjusting the environment like a scientist. If you scrolled in bed last night, great data. Move the charger farther or add the pouch. If lunch turned into a doom scroll, add the kitchen timer and put the phone under a dish towel. If you reach for the phone at 3 stoplights, upgrade the car rung, glove box closed, driving focus on. If you ping-ponged at work, log out of the worst offenders and hide the browser for the morning. Stack 2 or 3 tiny frictions and watch what happens. Self-control stops feeling like a wrestling match because there's nothing to wrestle. The reach meets a closed drawer, a blank home screen, a login wall, a gray screen, a timer ticking, and by the time autopilot stumbles over that gauntlet, your better self is awake. Say it with me. I make the right choice 10% easier. This week, pick your next rung. Write it down. Install it tonight. Tomorrow, you'll feel the click. That's not you becoming a different person overnight. That's your environment doing the heavy lifting. All right, let's stop talking about it and set this up together. 15 minutes. I'm right here with you, like we're on the phone. We're installing the plan that makes autopilot trip so your better self can run the day. Quick recap so your brain knows the mission. Rule #1, the phone has a bedtime and it's not in your bed. Rule #2, no phone while you're feeding yourself, park it in the kitchen. Rule #3, the phone never rides shotgun out of reach in the car. Now we make that real. Walk with me, room by room, bedroom first. Pick the charging station outside the bedroom, hall table, kitchen counter, bathroom vanity. Choose it now. Move a charger there. Done. Set do not disturb from 1 hour before bed until the time you want the morning to start. Allow only the 2 or 3 humans who get through at night. If you're using your phone as an alarm, set it and park the phone at the new station or outside the bedroom door. If you've got an old alarm clock, plug it in. For extra friction, turn on grayscale at night. That's the bedroom reset in 3 minutes. Kitchen, create the phone parking spot, not a floating idea, a literal place. Grab a bowl, a basket, or a drawer. Label it if that helps. Phone parking. Put it where your feet naturally go when you enter. Drop a cheap kitchen timer or a sticky note next to it that says 20 minutes. If you use recipes on your phone, screenshot them and then park the phone anyway. Want company while you cook? Cue a playlist or podcast on a speaker first. Then, anytime you're feeding yourself, the phone gets parked and the timer gets tapped. Presence, not perfection. Car, decide the placement you cannot reach while buckled. Glove box shut, bag on the back seat, center console with the lid closed, or a pouch in the back. Set driving focus or do not disturb while driving to turn on automatically. Let maps and calls through, silence the rest. Toss a charging cable in the glove box, so putting it away is the easy move. New ritual, seatbelt, route, phone out of reach, drive. Work, pick the phones home, a drawer, a bag, or a zip pouch. Plug a charger there so storing it is rewarded. Decide your first 2 message windows for tomorrow, maybe 10:30. And 3, log out of work apps on your phone or delete the icons for the week. Place a sticky on your desk that says next right thing and fill it in before you start a focus block. Make it family proof without turning into the phone police. Call a 2-minute huddle. Hey team, new house norms so we all feel better. Phones sleep here at night and park here while we eat. Emergencies still get through. We're testing it for 1 week, no shaming, just the system. Create 1 shared charging station with multiple cords. Put a little basket by the dining area. Model it. Praise compliance. Ignore slip-ups. Reset the environment. Here's how we define success for week 1. Pick 1 rule and hit it 4 days out of 7. That's a win. Circle the days on a calendar or note it on the fridge. Next week, add the next layer. We're not chasing perfect. We're building momentum you can feel. Pause and imagine the after. You wake up without that little dread spike because you didn't start the day inside a screen. You eat without numbing, and your brain actually idles down. You arrive places calmer because your car is quiet again. At work, you get an honest hour back. Not in theory today. A plan you execute today beats the fantasy of discipline you'll have someday. So set a 15-minute timer, move the charger, place the bowl, pick the car spot, choose the drawer, set D&D. When the timer rings, your life will already feel different because your environment will be on your side. You're the kind of person who designs for the life you want. Let's go. Let me land this where it belongs. There is nothing wrong with you. You are not weak. You are not broken. You are a human being who has been reaching for a relief machine because you were stressed or lonely or bored or overwhelmed, normal, everyday, honest-to-God human stuff. Your phone just happened to be the closest lever that promised a quick exhale. That grab was autopilot. And now you know the move that changes everything. Design your environment with a little friction. So autopilot can't run your life. And I've got to say this because it matters. The fact that you showed up, you listened, you pictured your hallway table and your kitchen bowl and your glove box. It tells me something about you. You are the kind of person who designs your life on purpose. You don't wait to magically become more disciplined. You make the choice easier. You make relief come from better sources, sleep, presence, calm, focus. So here's our simple contract. Right now, no drama, just action. Pick 1 rule to start tonight, not 5, 1. Maybe it's the phone has a bedtime. Maybe it's no phone while you feed yourself. Maybe it's the phone never rides shotgun. Choose it. Say it out loud. Then tell one person so your future self has backup. Text them, I'm trying a phone boundary this week. My phone sleeps on the kitchen counter. If you need me at night, call twice. And set one physical cue so your body can't miss it. Move a charger to the hallway. Put a basket by the dining table. Toss a pouch in the car console. Identity follows environment. Make the right move the easy move. You will slip. Of course you will. You're human, and your phone is a slot machine in a glass rectangle. When you slip, no shame, just science. Add one rung, increase one friction, reset. Tomorrow morning is a fresh start, and your phone will be in its little bed far away from your pillow. You wake up and your attention is still yours. That is the win we're after. Do one more thing for me, because you care about people. Share this with someone you love who's beating themselves up about their screen time. Send it with a note. There's nothing wrong with you. Try this with me. Relief is allowed. We're just getting it from places that give our life back, not take it. When you build friction with kindness, you get your attention back. And when you get your attention back, you get your mornings, your meals, your commute, your work, your relationships, your life. You don't need to be perfect. You need a system that helps you be the person you already are. I am so proud of you. You can do this. Tonight, pick the rule, tell the person, place the cue. Tomorrow, you start new. I'll be right here cheering you on. You got this. Let's go.